There's something in the Bahrain air tonight, and I'm not just talking about the sand. Our brightest minds have thrust their brightest ideas into the spotlight of the Sakhir circuit this evening as we look ahead once more to a Grand Prix that has thrilled us so consistently in the past. Formula One returns to the desert today on this exceptional 3.36-mile circuit. 15 corners provide plenty of overtaking opportunities, and 2 DRS zones will help with that as well. It could be a strategic race, this one, with Sakhir notorious for eating up the rear tyres. Watch out for drivers managing their rubber at some point during the Grand Prix. Bahrain has showed us many times in the past, though, Anthony Davidson, that a good strategy will only take you so far. Beyond that, you need good racecraft and you need good consistency.
And a little bit of luck too, I'd say. This is one of those circuits where the safety car always seems to come out just at the right time to condense the field together and mix up the cars on different strategies. It's hard on brakes, it's tough on fuel, and the main overtaking opportunity is down into turn 1, where it's easy to outbrake your opponent and potentially have a bit of argy-bargy as well.
Okay, the run into turn 1 isn't too long, so the pack will be bunched up. Take care.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, with Nico Rosberg alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Verstappen, Sebastian Vettel and a McLaren, Raikkonen, Bottas, Button and Carlos Sainz, Perez, Kvyat, Felipe Massa and Hulkenberg, Gutierrez, Grosjean, Jolyon Palmer and Kevin Magnussen, Nasser and Wehrlein, Marcus Ericsson and Rio Haryanto completes the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
And this McLaren exceeded its expectations in qualifying. Even better results than Australia, but we see what we can do in the race. So again, I'm just playing around this personalised and projected strategy. I'm not quite, still not quite sure what the difference is. I assume personalised is how you did in the tyre tests, but you never know. Anyway, we're going to head off on formation lap. I'm going to keep with the same format. We're going to start off the formation lap and go through the qualifying lap. So, yeah, just doing all the usual things like warming up the tyres and braking and accelerating and doing all that. We're just going to have a swipe in any minute now, or it could even be now. There we are. So, starting a qualifying lap now. I've already got 8th position so far. We're expected to qualify in 14th, but you know, we're exceeding expectations so far. Well, hello, by the way, my name's Lovespuds. I didn't do my introduction, but hey ho, you know who I am by now. So, no chance of rain. Well, low chance of rain, he actually says, but still. I'm up about a 10th on my Delta. This was one of my easier tracks so far, almost easier than Melbourne to get to grips with. The track acclimatization and the tyre wear and qualifying pace tests. It was actually quite easy in my view of where I'm at, but I'm still deciding whether to switch up from expert to legend. From what I've read on Reddit and forums and everything, it seems like there's quite a massive difference between the two, so we'll see how it goes in the next race. Next race I do actually switch up to legend and we'll see how we get on there. But so far we're doing quite well. I'm 4 tenths up, going round into the final sector. Almost, just so we're crossing it now. 7 tenths down on Hamilton's time, which is pretty damn good. Especially in a McLaren Honda. So 5 tenths, nearly 6 tenths up on our Delta, and we're going to go around the last corner and hopefully not too much wheel spin out of the corner. I'm just going to run for the line, about 6 tenths roughly, and a good result there for qualifying. So ended up in 6th, just on the last couple of laps from qualifying, so that's pretty good. So let's run into the race now, and hopefully we'll get a good start. Much better start than Vettel, but still struggling to control it off the line. Into the first corner, hoping I won't go into the back of people. Which I don't. Nearly went into Verstappen there, but that does open the door slightly for Vettel to come back through. But not quite got the pace off the tarmac there. So going well so far, it's a good start, no real instance. Button's got away quite well it seems, although he seems to have a bit of a train falling behind him. So today we've got good pace. And this does make me feel like I should be on the higher difficulty. But as I said just previously, there seems to be quite a difference between the two. And it's kind of difficult when you're in between difficulties, because you don't want it to be too easy, but you don't want it to be too hard either. Obviously I'll just have to stick with the one that I have the most fun on, I suppose, as I try and make a move on Verstappen, but it doesn't go very cleanly. Carried too much speed, so sort of kind of blocked him really, but I'm sure he'll get over it. I'm sure he'd do the same sort of move, although judging on Verstappen's history of moves like that, he does tend to do it a bit cleaner than a lot of people have done in the past. Anyway, well, that wasn't the best run at the last corner there, so I'm not expecting to hang on to this position too long, because I don't actually have a lot of straight line speed, being the Honda and probably not set up wise, well, not very well set up for straight lines. Because I haven't really done any setups, I've just kept this on the defaults, so it could actually make it a bit harder for myself, which I don't really have a problem with. If I can get a grips with it on this setting, so to speak, this setting with no special setups to make me faster around corners or faster in straight lines, then okay, I mean, it'll do. I mean, ideally maybe next season I would like to experiment with some setups, but I just want to see how far I go with this on this difficulty. So I don't know, we'll see what we can do. Although most of my corner cutting habits still exist, I'm getting rid of them slowly, but that is mainly thanks to the new track acclimatization in practice and the tyre wear. It's made me a lot more smooth around the bends, but even if I'm generally slower as a driver, it doesn't really matter. I don't really think. Oh, Hamilton's out. He's just on the right there. He's just pulled over. Serious car issue. But still, if you are looking for someone who's faster around the track, there are plenty of other very good YouTubers out there who do F1. People like Noble and Matty G and all those ones out there. I have to admit, I haven't really seen a lot of other people's videos. Strangely enough, I don't tend to watch a lot of F1 videos outside the time I'm actually making them. But I do respect those other guys quite a lot. They've done well for themselves. But anyway, let's get back to this race. We're currently 5 tenths down. I think that's on our delta. But Ricciardo and Rosberg are up ahead. I mean, at this point, I just can't believe I'm in third right now. I was kind of expecting to drop back or something, but you know, we're doing well. We're doing really, really well. I'm just keeping an eye on my tyre wear down in the bottom right there. Obviously, it hammers the left side of the car, the tyre wear, just because that's mostly how the track goes. Obviously, you put load on that side of the car rather than the other side. Obviously, it scrubs it a bit more, and then you start losing grip around the corners if you let it go too far. The field is spreading out a little bit now. The only thing I do worry about is actually having a train behind me. I don't really want that sort of thing to happen. I just like to stay on the pace of the people that are around me, although I am kind of overachieving at the moment, so just viewing my options there. I've got nearly 2 laps worth of fuel to burn, so I thought I might as well burn it. Obviously, what else are you going to do with fuel? My pit window is between lap 5 and 7. Usually I go like at the lower end of that, like lap 5 will probably be my pit stop. It's nice that it tells you where you rejoin as well if you do pit now, which is quite nice to see. I can't remember if that was in the last game or not, but to be honest, the previous 2 games weren't my favourites. 2015 was pretty good by my standards, but as I say, I do prefer this one. This game is going to get a lot of hours played on it. I can tell you that now. I think it's going quite well. You may have noticed that the quality of the recording has improved as well. I told you I'd sort it out by this video. I'm now using Shadow Play, just for racing games. As I said in the previous one, that's what I was going to do. OBS can't quite match up to it just yet, nor can my hardware. Maybe I need an upgrade somewhere down the line to like a better processor or motherboard or something like that. That would be nice, and maybe start recording it to a solid state hard drive, but the one I have isn't quite big enough at the moment. Jensen's in the pits, but you may have saw there someone tried to get past me. Didn't quite catch who it was because I wasn't actually looking, but still. I think it was a Ferrari. I think it was Vettel trying to come back at us, but he went into the pits. So we're just managing it now. This is the lap we're actually going to go into the pits. Currently predicted to come out in 17th, but it's kind of up in the air really because everyone is doing the pit stops at the same time, which they do tend to do in a race as short as this. I mean, 25% distance, it's not very long, to be fair. Definitely. Well, no chance of rain today, so don't even pray for it. I'd hate to think what this track's like in the wet. It's bad enough thinking about Monaco coming up. It's bad enough me driving it in the dry, yet alone in the wet. And I haven't really had any experience of it in the wet yet. This game, I haven't driven a single lap in the wet at all yet in this game, so we've got that to look forward to, I suppose, especially with this dynamic weather that's going on. And just about slow it down for the line, which is pretty good. That one's kind of a tough one to get right because that warning doesn't come up until you're really about to hit the line. It's a bit challenging. But in the practice sessions, I sort of try and practice. Obviously, practice is practice. Yeah, you obviously practice stopping before the line before getting a speeding penalty, which I haven't got yet, so hopefully I can continue that trend. So we're out in 16th, just ahead of Vettel again. That was obviously not a bad in-lap that we did. Just going to try and get past Nasser as soon as possible. Gave him a little tap, I think, but nothing too disastrous. So we're just going to go round him on the outside. And that is done cleanly, that'll do. I like how it flicks up bits of dirt onto the camera as well. That's a nice touch. You do get bits of flies and oil and bits and bobs. Nice little details. They've made a lot of nice little details in this game, and I'm bloody enjoying it. So we're expected to finish 11th. I think we're very much on course to do that, especially where I've been running in the first few laps. Ricardo's up front, and he's on course to get back up onto the podium, I believe. So we're in a good position. Verline just going up the inside there of him and try and get him out of the way as soon as possible. And we got the DRS as well, so I should pick that up. And getting the slipstream of Ricciardo. And let's see if we can maybe make a move on him into the first corner. Right up the inside. Carried too much speed and locked up, but just trying to give him enough room to get around. Trying to be a bit fairer than I have been in the past. Still on the rich fuel mode. We've still got like a lap in hand of fuel, so it's pretty good. Although the speed I think I'm going at with the pressing the gas down and the braking, probably not using as much fuel as other people may do, and maybe could push a bit further than I do, but yeah, I'm at a comfortable pace. Got Rosberg up front, so he's obviously the one leading this race, so we're technically in second, so that's good. But he's gone for the medium tyre, which should hold up a little bit better by the end of the race. Even though our tyre's faster, it will wear quicker, as is the way. So it's at the purple sector there. So Ricciardo's still within a second of us, so he'll most likely get DRS going down the main straight and probably fly right past us. Haryanto's just up front. He'll need to... No, he does not need to move out of the way because he's actually in 6th and Rosberg is in 7th. I've set the fastest lap. Well, get ready for that not to be a theme. The first fastest lap I do this season. Maybe the only one, but Rosberg making move up the inside, pretty easily done. And I could have got a good run on him, hit on them there. I could have gone past Haryanto by now. But I didn't want to get a penalty for like cutting a corner or something, because I did, you know, go over the apex there. Just a bit of corrective steering there, a bit of wheel spin coming out, putting down too much throttle. But I've gotten better at the correcting thing. I think playing a lot of Dirt Rally sort of helped me do the corrective steering. It's helped quite a lot. He could basically say I took a couple of years off to do rallying, maybe doing a Kimi or something like that, because he went off to do rallying for a while after he got brought out at Ferrari, if I believe that's how it went down, to make way for Alonso. I think that's how it went down. I can't actually quite remember. I mean, this is a few years ago now. I call myself like an F1 fan, but sometimes I just forget some basic knowledge. But still, as you know, I'm back and going to continue doing this videos as long as I can. As long as nothing disastrous happens with my internet. So, third, currently Rosberg second. I'm not quite sure who's first. Ricciardo's trying to come up the inside, but easily outbrake him, really. He didn't really try that hard, I don't think. But we're going to come under a lot of pressure soon from Ricciardo, and probably Vettel as well. He's probably not that far behind. As we're on the 9th lap, 14. And I'm starting to sweat. I can see this podium in my grasp. And then Ricciardo coming up the inside. Wheel to wheel around the corner. And he's not going to make the move stick. I'm giving him the room. He's got all the room he needs. But I'm just holding on in there so far. Tyre wear not looking too shabby as well, just about under 20%, probably tick over quite soon on the front left. So 5 laps of fuel.
Okay, gap ahead is 7.5 seconds.
Ricardo trying to come up the inside, outbraking me quite easily. I'm just going to try and maybe take the tighter apex and get a better run out of this corner. It's okay, but he did get quite a good run up, really. Run out of that corner, should I say. And get right up on his gearbox. Try and make a move. Right, he's got the bases covered. I'm going to dive up the inside. He gives us room, I give him room. It's just a drag race out of this corner. But he's still side by side, he's still there. So I can't move over, I'm going to let him go. Because it's not worth it on that corner. Because that's a tricky enough corner for anyone, yet alone me, to get right. So I'll just let him get ahead, but not too far ahead. Let's make sure we've still got some DRS on him. I'm going to take that corner quite well, actually, just to close the gap. Just making sure I stay within DRS range, but we've got Vettel up behind us as well, so we've got to be careful. We can't do anything too drastic. Right, so it should be within a second now, and I should get DRS. Or should I not? Yes, I do. You can see it loading up there, which is quite a handy visual indicator when you're getting DRS. So if Vettel's going to get past, I'm going to go try and cut back a bit, try and get a good run out of it. I haven't quite got that move down yet, but I am working on it. Basically, I think the podium's slipping away by this point. But I don't give up. I never give up easily. Just following Vettel around the corner, trying to work out where I'm going to make a move. Because I'm expecting Vettel to challenge Ricciardo at some point. Not freaking out, got plenty of laps left. He's not actually that far up the road. Right, so me and Vettel have got DRS, Ricciardo doesn't, so I wonder if he's going to do anything here, and it doesn't look like it. He's just getting closer and closer, trying to put him on edge. It's the battle for second.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
I think I'm still on rich mode. Let's just having a look. Come around, get not a bad exit out of there, so it should be fine. Might be able to make a move into the hairpin as long as I don't get too far away. But Ricciardo and Vettel have a little duel there. Vettel gets past. Ricciardo falls behind slightly. I'm going to go around the outside, try my luck, and it's working, and it's worked. Don't think Vettel was expecting that, but that put me on the inside for that corner, and that helped me quite substantially. And now it's me up into second, but I'm going wide, so that should allow them to close up the gap again. It's not all over yet, only a couple of laps left after this one. Rosberg in the distance there. He's not looking likely to lose any ground to us. He's got the clear air there. He'll be happy that we're fighting amongst each other, so that will slow us down, and he can just cruise along to his victory, barring any mechanical issues. Just going to flick it down to standard, because I'm saving up the fuel for the straight. Going to flick up to rich down the straight, just to get that extra little bit of speed that this Honda engine can provide. So as we come up to the penultimate lap, little tiny bit of oversteer going down the corner there. The gap must be around a second between us three.
Much burned off our excess fuel. We'll be back on target soon. Don't
bit wide on that corner, a bit of a lock-up. I can start feeling the pressure from Vettel behind. He'll come for a run on this corner. It's got the inside line, but I've got the momentum around the outside. It's looking good so far. Still hanging on to second. This is a corner that always worries me, the downhill braking into what is a tighter corner than it looks. If you're not careful, you can lock up and just go basically straight on. You can lose so much time there. Conversely, you can gain so much time as well. Go a bit wide there, which totally fucks up my sector. And the gap to Vettel as well. Just trying to get him out of my slipstream there. Don't want him to get any more advantage than he already will have on the straight running down to the first corner. So just starting the final lap. Rosberg's in first. 4.3 seconds to Rosberg. He's so close yet so far. Vettel's going to go screaming past. Don't know if I'm going to have the momentum there, so I tried to do that manoeuvre. I accidentally tapped Vettel, so that lost us quite a chunk of time, really. He's just going to go screaming off for a little bit. Ricciardo's going to have a look at the inside, but he's not going to go for it. Okay, now I'm starting to panic a little bit. But I'm just trying to remain cool at the same time. Second place. Just right there. Right in front of me. I just need to find a way past him. Don't want to mess up this corner. But I kind of do. But got a DRS. Don't think we're going to make it into this corner. Don't want to lunge. Don't want to mess it up now. But just going to get the door slammed right in my face there. Only a few corners left. So it's basically now or never. And I have to lunge up the inside. Make sure I don't fuck up my braking, and I don't, which is okay. I'm trying to give him enough room, but I think he gave me too much room. He could have shut the door earlier. Just going to come through and claim that second place trophy.
Stuff from Mercedes today. That's another historic win. Tell me, Ant, what was the key to this success?
The difference was clearly in the strategy. You could tell they'd done a lot of work on the pit wall to really optimise each stint and get the most out of the tyres. And it highlights just how much of a team sport this really is. But credit to the driver as well, though. There's no good having a well-oiled machine behind the scenes without a talented hand on the wheel, of course.
Welcome then to the podium, our top three drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race.
Alright, so there we are, second place. 18 fabulous points. Lewis Hamilton at the bottom there, after retiring. Jensen in 14th. So that will do nicely in our rivalry.
So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Nico Rosberg takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship after that excellent result. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
My driver of the day, Crofty, was Danny Kvyat. Look at where he finished compared to where he started. That's a great effort.
And now let's take a look at the constructors' standings. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today as they make their way up the standings. There'll be plenty more twists and turns to come this season. I hope you can join us at the next race to see just who will come out on top.
Right, so that will do it for the second race of the season. You can see all my stats building up there, winning the rivalry pretty easily on this occasion. Got all the ticks. It should be a pretty easy rivalry. Probably would have been a lot harder had I not ticked down the difficulty level to start with from Legend, what I'm usually used to. But I'm basically going to move it up to Legend for the next race, see what happens, and then we'll evaluate it from there to see which one I'm going to stick with. So there's my career score so far, and then we're back for the evening of partying, and then back to the laptop. Right, I'll see you for round 3 in China.